Is it safe to say there's no inflation? You don't know what it is. You've never seen it. Your electric bill, maybe your water bill, maybe your grocery bill, maybe your cost of living, generally speaking. You don't say there's any inflation. Like, in other words, if I asked you, do we need more inflation? What would you say? Well, of course not. Hell no. Why would we want that? I mean, naturally. Naturally. Say inflation for me. Say it together. That's the way it should be. Federal Reserve, this is Zero Hedge. Federal Reserve proposes new rule to let inflation run hot ahead of next recession. Whoa, 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 whoa. Who's saying anything about a recession? How do you know a recession's coming? Y'all didn't see the last one, you said. We didn't see it coming. We didn't know. As the Federal Reserve remains unable to stoke inflation because it refuses to measure it correctly, of course, and refuses to factor in asset price inflation, it is now considered launching a new rule that will let inflation run above its 2% target to make up for, well, lost inflation. And it's being reported by the Financial Times. Though the Fed's policies are to protect big Wall Street banks, of course, and keep liquidity ample, see the overnight repo market in the hundreds of billions these days, its policies have overwhelmingly created deflation through supporting zombie companies and blowing financial bubbles. So, to make up for lost inflation, the Fed will temporarily increase the target range above 2%, also known as symmetric overinflation. Don't you love these words? Quantitative easing. Quantitative tightening. High yield investment bond. Too big to fail. Oh, that's not. Too big to fail. We know what that is. What is this called again? Symmetric overinflation. The policy would make it clear that it's acceptable that to average 2%, you can't have only observations that are below 2%. According to Eric Rosengren, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, who recently spoke with Financial Times, Fed members have expressed concerns that reverting the federal funds rate to the zero lower bound will drive inflation expectations lower, a real risk of Japanification. Was that a Red Hot Chili Pepper song? Japanification? Oh, no, that was Californication. Oh, sorry about that. Something Albert Edwards is especially concerned about. Officials have also lamented that since the Fed fund rate is so low compared to history, any recession could make monetary policy ineffective. Though there is always the reality that the Fed will merely unleash, well, here it goes, will merely unleash negative interest rates during the next recession. Huh. Negative rates, you don't say. Pretty sure your pal J-Snip 4, not J-Snip 3, not J-Snip 5, J-Snip 4, has been telling you, Donald Trump, again, secret meeting, Fed head, the Fed head, not one of the 12 central banks. No, the Federal Reserve head governor, the top dude of the 12 banks, that dude, Mr. Powell. Little secret meeting in a little secret spot in the White House. Him, I think it was Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, Trump, and the Fed head. And they talked about negative interest rates, etc. Cheaper dollar. So as they're saying, officials have also lamented that since the Fed fund rate is so low compared to history, any recession could make the monetary policy ineffective. Though there is always the reality that the Fed will merely unleash negative interest rates. Imagine being able to get a house when rates are negative. Now, sometimes it doesn't always mean, well, the banks will pass that negative right to us. Negative 1.5%. Oh, I can go get a mortgage for like negative 0.5%. No. Maybe the bank charges 1.5%, 2%. Mortgage calculator. What does that equal? I did it on the 250,000 on a negative rate. It was pretty ridiculous. Like you'd pay $189,000 in 30 years. Whoa. So it would be stupid to pay my house off. Yeah, they're helping you pay the house by negative rates. Yes, it would be stupid. Purchase. No. Quicken Loans. I only wanted a mortgage calculator. I did not want to have to answer 14 questions. So, in that case, we'll just do this built-in one. 1.5% rate, $250,000 house, $863 payment. Today's rates at about 4.2-ish would be $1,223. So I want you to think about the number again. $1,223, that's at 4.2%. Same amount, $250K. 1.5% brings it down to $863. You are talking, literally, seriously, let this number think this is just math. I'm going to just round down briefly. 863, let's say it's 800. In the 12 something, just to say it was 1,200 even, right? So we'll come down on both of those. What is 800 plus 400? I'm going to count this in front of you. 8, 900, 10 or 1,000, 1,100, 1,200. That's exactly that price we were telling you about. I was telling you about. 1,200. So, Joe, are you trying to say that's like saving $400 a month just by going from 4.2 down to 1.5%? Yes, I am. Looked at the other way, your $800 a month payment, 50% higher payment would be the $1,200. So let that number, that again, just math. 50% higher, 800 is $400 more, right? Because half of that's 400. That's 50%. Add 50%. You're adding $400. My mortgage just went up half of what it was. 50% higher. Whoa, well, how did that happen? 1.5% interest rate turned to 4.2. That's all. Now, granted, if we could get mortgages in the negatives, Donald Trump in his last name will be president going so far into the future, it'll like back in the future looking back, like, whoa, Donald Trump again, Donald Trump Jr., Donald Trump Jr. again, the other not Don, what's his name? Eric Trump twice, Ivanka somewhere in there, Ivanka twice, little Junior Trump, remember him, the little fella? What's his name? I can't think of it. Almost said Peyton. It's not Peyton. Whatever, the young kid. He'll be president. Like, the next 100 years is going to be Trump. You save people that kind of money. Again, it's the biggest nut you have to crack every single month is your mortgage or rent. And the same thing applies. Look, you might be paying rent now, but if that person's mortgage drops hundreds of dollars a month, again, rents will just follow suit. Oh, yeah. You're not going to have a $800 a month payment and someone's paying rent, still paying $1,250 or something. Well, why am I paying that kind of rent? I could go somewhere else. Because they're in reality, like, no, mortgages are down. Again, it's the same thing. It's the same industry. It's a house. You're either renting or you're mortgaging it, and that's it. And if you mortgage it and you try to rent it, yeah, you can get a little more above your mortgage, typically speaking, for rent. But you're not going to get 50% higher rent. Oh, my mortgage is $800 and I'm going to charge $1,200 because I can. No. The equilibrium will come into play. So, yeah, maybe, honestly, like, could you imagine filling out a mortgage application and it's negative? What's the rate today, sir? Negative 1.75. It's a real good rate today. Yeah, I'd say. You effers are going to pay me to pay my mortgage. I'd say it's a real good rate, as a matter of fact. If we ever get to 2? Or no, not 2 yet? All right, negative 2. Okay. All right, I guess I'll take it. But again, I'm at 1.5%. What's another minus 1 or minus 1.5 would put me at 0%. And if I go to 0.1, can we do that? 0% is $694 a month. Again, it was just 8, what did I say? 863 at 0%. So just 1.5% is 863, 0%, 694. So call it roughly 170 bucks, I guess, that you just saved. So what does that mean? If we go down another 1.5, so minus 1.5, another 150, knock it off. Oh yeah, down to 575, you know. Jiminy Christmas. You know how much money people would have to spend? Car payments, no problem. That's another stat. I thought I sent myself a video. I was going to do it on there. The whole subprime thing. Oh my God. Ooh, that was that Wolf Street? I think I deleted it because I was like, oh, I had so much to do. Oil, telecom giants, subprime. Yeah, that's it. What's behind the subprime consumer loan implosion? I think I need to go on right into that next video. Take care.